Till the critically acclaimed Fnatic Bolt that just came out a couple of months ago, Fnatic had not actually released a gaming mouse since 2018. They probably didn't expect the last two to flop so badly. Anyway, just because something isn't popular doesn't mean it's bad. So how is the Fnatic Flick 2 and Clutch 2 now in 2022? That's a lot of twos. The best way to describe the Flick 2 is, well, very weird mouse, and I don't have any comparison point for it. It's the size in terms of length as like the Deluxe M800, but it's symmetrical, so it's technically ambidextrous and it's deep ergo grooves everywhere, including the clicks. It's also rubberized on the sides heavily, and it looks quite nice. Its biggest thing for me is that it has this angular shape and very sharp, harsh edges, which we frankly not that used to seeing on gaming mice. And in my opinion, it has a shape that is overall more suitable to things like a palm grip than really any other type of grip. The sides curve in towards the top and get wider towards the bottom, and there's a white lip at the top that's kind of sharp and it holds your fingers in place, and it sucks for anything but a palm grip because while your fingers are parallel and underneath the grip it's super comfortable and adds a lot of grip and like leverage for liftoff on top of the rubberized sides being so grippy. It's super jarring and uncomfortable when you're using a more aggressive grip because the sharp ledge kind of pokes into your fingers unless your fingers are all completely underneath this grip lip. It's very, very weird. The top is matte in finish and quite grippy as well, but not as much as the rubberized sides, so that's quite nice. The bump for the palm support is not too high, in fact it's quite normal, and I do appreciate that overall for my hand size it feels pretty snug and quite nice, quite good. But what's not good with this mouse, it's not good at all, is the clicks and the buttons. The clicks doo-doo. They are rather stiff, and with the clicks being integrated into the top shell, they're also not very consistent. The scroll wheel is super stuffy, almost feeling like this murky stiffness mess. The scroll wheel click and thumb click is also 6,000 kilometers of travel before you hit the actuation point, so they are actually really spongy and not very fast to actuate, which is not very desirable. But hey, at least it has RGB. The bottom of this mouse is where you find huge feet, which is nice, and they are reasonably slippery. The sensor here is a 3360 as well, which is admittedly a bit dated, but trust me, it's going to be fine for pretty much everyone. It's hard to spin out, no major issues, and while not exactly hero sensor level flawless, you will not have a single issue with this. The weight is, however, pretty heavy, coming in at about 97 grams, as is the Clutch 2, its other brother. Remember, there's two mice in this video. It's fine because lightweight trends really didn't hit the market till 2019 with the wireless, so it's not that bad, and I know plenty of people that don't want light mouse, so it's completely subjective. Clutch 2 is also another peculiar brother. I mean, we've got the Adams family in this. It's asymmetrical, it's fat, it's puffed up like a poisonous Japanese delicacy, pufferfish, and a slightly more ergonomic focused shape that is not ambidextrous like the Flick 2. Its bump is thick and bloated, like Kim Kardashian's particular body part. The mouse is good with fingertip, unlike its brother, and it's actually quite okay with more aggressive grippage. It has the same sensor, same lovely rubberized sides, and it has this same humongous mice feet. The scroll wheel is a little bit more recessed into the shell, and really this is a lot less stiffer of a scroll wheel to scroll and to click, which kind of tells me that the stiffness I felt on the other brother, the Flick 2, might be because it's old and just been sitting in a warehouse somewhere for the last couple of months or years. Its clicks are also noticeably lighter on this mouse and feel slightly more crisp, so it kind of furthers the hypothesis because technically it probably should be using the same parts, right? Now, I personally actually quite like these shapes. They are a little bit big for my hands, and the arch on the palm support is rather steep and harsh and a bit protruding out, but I can see many people actually liking the shape. It's like a sharper, more angular EC1 kind of vibe where you could tilt claw it, where you could aggressive claw it. It's quite interesting. It's heavy and it's old. The sensor is slightly older, admittedly, but it is good enough. And the clicks and scroll wheel might be iffy, but it is truly quite unique in what it offers, especially with a very peculiar Flick 2. It's not world beater, it's not a must try, and frankly, while there are things we should learn from these two mice, I think there's a good reason as to why they didn't sell particularly well. But if you've seen this video and you feel like, hey, this is really interesting and you're looking for one, since it's old and probably on a big discount, these are not bad mice to use at all, not a bad idea. They have their quirks, but in its own way, it's still a respectable option, especially if you get it on a discounted price. Just don't buy these at full price. Absolutely not, because in many ways, those rough edges, quirks, and lack of competitive features show its age very quickly, especially if you're paying its full 99 Singapore dollar price. And well, it's just not a good deal anywhere north of $50. But if you can get it for a good price, it's definitely a fun mouse to try out, to check out, and just to experience, because I think for the right group of people, it's going to be a good choice for good aim and a good time. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching this quick review of two really old and very peculiar gaming mice that really caught my eye. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. We're doing a lot of gaming mouse content, obviously. And make sure you ask any questions in the comments down below or in the Discord. I reply to basically everything. All love to you guys to watching to this point in the video. Thank you guys so much. And if you did, comment Flick of the wrist in the comments so I know you watched to this point in the video. Because why not? Anyway, bye.